What would you do if God gave you the job that you wanted or the responsibilities that you wanted? What would you do when you got up in the morning? How would that affect how you got ready? What if you had a boss overseeing the very little things that you were doing, who was able to promote you and say, yes, you've done that long enough, and I think you're ready for more, or who could fire you? How would that affect the way we hold ourselves on a daily basis? It's just a suggestion. Maybe we might think about that, because God wants us to be faithful in the small things. We moved into this house a few years ago, and when we called the realtor and said we really like to go see this house, because we needed something bigger. So we weren't looking for top dollar granite countertops and all that. We don't need that. We need space. And so we found this house that was big. And so we asked our realtor to take us to look at it, and he said, you don't want to see that house. I don't want to show it to you. You're not going to like it. I said, we've already looked in all the windows. We want to see it. And he said, no, I don't think so. Why not? It's just a lot of work, Cheri. You're just going to have to put a lot of work into it. And I think that you might rather put your money in something else. And we just decided, no. I don't need everything today. I am willing to wait. I am willing to not. I'm a Dave Ramsey girl, and I don't need it today. I can do it when I can pay for it. And so we've kind of been doing that. So what we did, the pool was a disaster. And so I got online, and I bought this paint that's supposed to give you 3 to 5 more years. And it's awful paint. It took me 5 weeks to paint it. Just the top part. Couldn't even get down to the bottom. So I did that because I'm going to be a good steward of that and buy a few years before we have to do the big stuff. Well, that worked for a few years. And then this past year, I was having to buy chemicals every week. And finally, the chemical guy at the store knows me on a personal level. And he said, Cheri, why are you buying so many chemicals? I mean, you're spending a fortune. I said, I know, I can't keep it from turning green. And he said, well, how old is the pool? I said, about 20 years. 20 years old? Yes. Well, you're supposed to replaster that puppy every 7 years, every 7 or 15. Oh, okay. He said, I think that you should call somebody and have them come resurface the pool. And I said, I don't want to spend the money. And he said, you're already spending the money. You're just pouring it down the drain. So we decided, all right, we'll haul off and do that. So because we never want to do this again, and we still have little kids in the home. The youngest are 7. We don't want to do this again while kids are in the home. And so we went with something that was the longest lasting, and we wouldn't have to do anything to it. So we went with something called Pebble Technology. And I'm fascinated. So what we would do is they give you the brochure, and it says Pebble Technology, and you pick the color of blue that you want. So we picked a blue one and went on about our business. Well, then like 5 months later, they're finally done resurfacing the pool, and they put the hose in it, and they start filling it up, and they leave. And it's brown. It's just brown as can be. And there's rocks in it. It looks like sort of rough concrete, with the stones in it. And Chad and I were like, get that hose out. Something's not right. And then we began to notice that at the very bottom, there was a tint of color. And so I Googled it. And lo and behold, because we thought maybe there was a mistake. And so lo and behold, Pebble Technology works like the beach. And so as the stones are reflected in the water, it changes the color of the water. So what looks completely brown in the beginning, when it's full, is a lagoon blue. That is just fascinating to me. I love that. And what I thought about was this idea that it's the little individual pebbles that make all the difference. It's those little things that determine the outcome. And in the same way, my life and your life are consumed with little seemingly meaningless responsibilities. But when faithfully conducted and joyfully executed, God designs beauty that we cannot see in the pebbles alone.